Hey there folks, and welcome back to Space Engineers Survival Exploration Mode, Episode 6. Last episode I asked if we should use the scan mod. A lot of you said we should, some of you said we probably shouldn't. I kind of agree with both sides of the issues, so what we're going to do is we're going to kind of sort of make a compromise. Oh, we can make it through. And we are going to use the mod, but we are not going to use it at its full potential. We are not going to be using the 50,000 meter view range because that is a little bit overpowered because you can see ships for, well, a long way away. You can actually see lots of multiple ships. I've tried this in the personal test worlds and you can see ships for long ways away where you could never see them normally. However, if we were to not use the scan mod, I know from experience we'll probably go like 30 odd episodes without seeing a derelict ship, and I know some of you want to see it, so we are definitely going to be using the derelict ship scanning mod. Also, last episode I completely forgot to see if the iron ore goes directly into the arc furnace or not, so we're going to do that right now. Let's grab up the iron, we're going to grab some uranium, just all sorts of stuff. We're going to leave the stone behind because we don't need it. And more uranium. And alright, we're full. I have a feeling it's probably just all going to go into one refinery because that's how these sort of things sometimes work. But experimentation will prove what actually happens. So let's go to hide empty. And everything went into one refinery. Kind of not surprised there. Well, we're going to drag this down to the arc furnace. And we're going to drag the magnesium down to the other refinery. And while we are en route to... I know there was another ship off in the distance from last episode. We are going to go to that particular derelict ship that was really close by. And we're going to be using this particular ship to do so. So I think it's still set up to be under 20,000. Yeah, if I haven't said, we are going to set up the range of our scans to under 20,000 meters. So we don't completely cheat, because that would be kind of crappy. Alright, we are using 17,000 meters. That is less than that, and we were able to find a ship within distance last time, and it's gone. Well, that's kind of crappy. I guess we're gonna go exploring, but no promises on finding a derelict ship, though. We have the beacon set to 50,000 meters, so we can go 50,000 meters away from our base without anything bad happening. We're not going to lose our base, hopefully, because that would be super embarrassing. Also, we have enough uranium, should last us a while. We still don't have any missiles in our missile turrets. Let's fix that, especially if we have, what are they? Military transports floating off in the distance. So let's go grab some missiles, fill up some of our missile pods. We don't have to completely fill them up. And we don't have to fill up all of them. We'll grab these missiles, and we'll grab some more out of this. We'll just fill up our inventory. Yeah, fill up our inventory. No. I guess that's as many as we can fit. Is 63, so we are going to put missiles in our turrets for the first time ever in episode 6 when this should have been done in episode 1. Let's throw 10 in each turret. Alright. There we go. Looking good. Now we need to go on the bottom of the ship. The Gatling turrets do have ammunition, so I don't need to worry about that. We have 2 missile turrets there and a Gatling turret there, so actually we can put more than 10 missiles in each turret. Put 15 in these. There we go. Put another 15 in the other one. Also, before we head off, I'm going to put more uranium in the home base nuclear reactor because I don't want it to run out. Oop, not 5. Ooh, certainly not that amount. There we go, 15. Because we don't want the home base beacon to run out, because then we'll lose our base and all the work that we've done these previous episodes, which would kind of suck. Alright, and we still have some missiles left, so let's throw them in here. We have 13 missiles left, so we're gonna throw in 6 in this one, 7 in the other one. And if the time comes that we need to turn on the missile turrets and Gatling turrets, we will have ammunition in both, so that's good. Alright. Looking good. So, let's head out in a particular direction and see if we can find something. Alright. If I'm not mistaken, last episode the ship was off in like that direction, right by the military transporter. In fact, the military transporter might have obliterated it, which is why it might not be there anymore. So let's find a particular ship or direction, because there's no ships that we can see, and let's go try to find it. Find something interesting that's less than 50,000 meters away. In fact, I think... well, let's see here. Sun's over there. Let's head in this general direction. By those big... there's a gold asteroid over there that we don't have any gold. So let's see if we can make it to the gold asteroid. And right now our power's overloaded because I forgot to turn on my reactors again, of course. So let's go do that. Also, I still haven't renamed my ship, and I am going to be doing that this episode, and I do have a name for it. So we're going to do that probably when we're en route, because it's going to take a while to get there. So let's toggle the blocks on, and let's go. Alright, so as for the name of this ship, I think that we're going to name this after the first human-made spacecraft to leave the orbit of the sun and enter interstellar space and be a true explorer. So we're going to name it after the Voyager 1 spacecraft, which is the first spacecraft that ever left the influence of the sun and is now in what is considered to be an interstellar space. It's the first human-made object to do so. And because we're off exploring, I think it's only suiting that we name our ship after Voyager. So we're going to name our ship Voyager. Not after the Star Trek Voyager, just after the actual spacecraft Voyager. Alright, let's turn off our inertial dampeners and let's just drift for a while. Okay, let's also, like I said before, let's rename our ship Voyager. Whoop, that's... why are you not... that's strange. You know, want to do that for me? This is very strange. It doesn't let me rename my ship. This is evil. Well, I'm sure I can rename my ship for some strange reason. Uh-oh. Things are happening. I don't know if you can see them. My piston is freaking out. So I'm going to start slowing down. My piston does not like this. I don't know what's happening. That's a major bug. Okay, so apparently I can't go that fast without my piston deciding to flip out. And it's still kind of... I don't know if you saw that, but that was not something I want to repeat. Also, let's see if we have any ships in the vicinity. Still no ships in the vicinity. It's kind of a bummer. Well, let's take a look at this. I know there's going to be gold here. So, we're going to definitely take a look at this asteroid. I know we'd be going probably 30 or odd episodes if we didn't have this ship scanning feature in without finding a derelict, but at least with this ship scanning feature in, we should probably find one eventually. Alright. Let's slow down. Alright, let's get a little bit closer. Alright, there we go. Perfect. Alright, let me make sure that that particular piston is still working. Because that is a pretty freaky thing that it was doing. Let's see. Does it still work? Okay, yeah, the piston still works. Well, that's kind of unfortunate. I hope that we can still travel at that speed without the piston deciding to glitch through walls like it was doing. Alright. Well, let's take a look. We're just going to take a look by hand this time. It's really nice that they've added these procedural asteroids in, as well as this procedurally generated world. I mean, space engineers really needed something to spruce it up. Ooh, there's more uranium here. Sweet. I guess uranium isn't as rare as it was before. And speaking of the randomly generated, procedurally generated worlds, that's actually a bonus of the development of medieval space, or medieval engineers, not medieval space engineers, medieval engineers. In medieval engineers, they wanted to have a procedurally generated world, except they didn't know how to make one, so they developed one, and because it uses the same engine as this game, they were able to, well, they were able to come up with this, which is pretty awesome because the game really needed it. Alright, so our ship is, our station, our place is there. We'll probably even head on to that donut thing with the stick sticking out of it. So this one doesn't have any gold. It does have uranium, though. It looks like there's silver there. Might as well grab some uranium. I mean, we traveled all this way. Mine as well. In fact, I'm going to empty out the cargo container of the mining ship into the cargo container over there so we can get ourselves some more uranium. Then we're going to go to that other asteroid. I'm surprised that this ship didn't completely rip itself apart when we were flying, but I'm sure it was trying to, so I shouldn't have had that on. But I do need it on right now, so I can grab the stuff out of it. Primarily, the stuff we want is the uranium. Alright, that's good. Let's grab some of the iron then. Alright, our inventory is full. Let's hop on over here. Throw this in there, throw this in there, throw this in there, hide the empty ones. Let's drag this back down to one of the arc furnaces. And we'll drag the uranium down to, well, actually, let's drag the magnesium down to this refinery. There we go. Grab that stuff, throw it in our cargo container. There we go. Alright. The ship is already on, which means we just need to hop into our control seat. And then we can start flying it around. There we go. Control panel. Robo Miner. Also, let's see if can I rename my ship still. Oh, I don't want to rename the Robo Miner. Rename the large ship. Well, now it works. So, Voyager. There we go. We've renamed our ship, finally. There we go. Alright, it updated, and now we are finally flying a ship that has a name. Alright, let us view the camera. Then we need to look at the remote control. Where are you hiding? I thought I had that all set up. Oh, I'm in Voyager again. Derp. Remote control. There we go. And we're off. Doesn't look like there's much to this asteroid. Is that all uranium at the bottom? That would be so cool. It is. It's all uranium, and I don't even have to go inside a cave to get it. Well, it looks like we're going to be here for a while. So, cue the montage while we mine. Alright, and we're done mining. I think we have more than enough uranium from that little escapade. In fact, let's take a look and see how much damage we did to the asteroid, because I have a feeling we took a big old chunk out of it. Oh yeah. Yeah, that's a big crater right there that we caused. We caused that big chunk to be gone and all of this to be gone. Alright, well. And that little vein there is gone too. So we sucked up a lot of that uranium, so that's pretty good. I think we'll be set on uranium for a while then. In fact, it's going to be refining probably for a couple of days yet. Which means we can go off exploring without worrying about running out of uranium. So that's not one of the priorities anymore. We don't really need uranium anymore. So let's grab the rest of this. 7.7k. Alright. I'm all for that. Turn the jetpack off. Turn the engines off. Let's throw this stuff in our refineries. Alright, there we go. Let's throw this in that refinery. Let's throw 5,000 in there. 1,000, not 100. Let's grab what uranium we have. We'll throw it in our reactor. Also, production. Okay, we don't really need to make anything right now. However, in the future, I'm going to be making a scout ship, so I might as well start making some thrust components. And I don't know if I'm going to make it a big or small ship, so I might as well make a lot of them. Let's enable cooperative mode. And we don't need repeating mode. There we go. And cooperative mode is where the assemblers work together to finish their products. Oh, also, I never put the uranium in here. There we go. Let's look at the reactors. Yeah, we're still above 100, so we're fine. I don't want to really drop below 75 uranium in each reactor, because then we're going to be running low. Those reactors suck through the uranium pretty quick. Alright. Let's do one more scan to make sure nothing's in the vicinity. Nope. Actually, like I said, I'm going to increase the antenna range to 2,000. Oop, 2,000. Good enough. This one is off, but we're going to have it set to 50,000. It's not going to be the one that's going to be used for scanning, but in case we ever need to turn it on to find something, such as our home, we will do so. Alright, well, let's head on down to this particular funny looking thing over here and see what there is. Hopefully we'll find some gold and platinum. Right now, gold, platinum, and cobalt are the things that we need the most. Also nickel. We do have some nickel stockpiled, but we don't have any nickel ore, so we're going to need some of that. Still trying to see if I can see ships off in the distance, because I know the things spawn up to 40,000 kilometers away, whereas my ship scan distance was only set to 20. I don't see anything, and they really do blend in with the asteroids quite well. And there goes my piston freaking out. I hope that that doesn't completely break the game. No! Go back into spot, piston. You're worrying me. I guess he just wants to be outside to see outer space. He's excited. That's what we'll blame it on. It's a very strange looking asteroid right there. It really does look like a donut with a stick sticking through it. And something broke. Like, broke hardcore because we don't have gravity anymore. Uh-oh. Game, why you do this? Alright. Let's see what damage is done in our engineering bay. And Yeah. Okay. That's mildly annoying. Not sure what caused this to happen other than the game bugging out. So I really do hope they fix that. I mean, the structural integrity thing is kind of... It was novel at first, but now it's kind of getting annoying. But speaking of structural integrity, they're going to be improving the structural integrity greatly in Space Engineers. Again, as a result of medieval engineers, because they're going to be adding torsion, they're going to be adding torsional braking, some other forms of stiffness. What is it? Volumetric stiffness and things like that. So it'll be a lot more accurate, and I can't wait for that. And now we need to build a new gravity generator because they haven't added it yet. Oh man. Well, I guess we're gonna be building a new gravity generator a bit sooner than we thought. Production, large blocks. Don't have enough to build one, I'm sure. We don't have enough nickel, gold, or iron, really. So nickel and gold. I know we have some iron in here, so iron will not be an issue. It's the nickel and gold that we need. Hopefully we can find some of that on this asteroid. Don't need the magnesium right now. Let's grab the iron. There's still more uranium. Let's grab that. Grab this. Alright, well this is kind of annoying. We're gonna probably put our gravity generator in a different spot, especially if the piston likes to glitch through that wall. Throw this in here, this in here. Throw this in the arc furnace. Let's grab some of that and the cobalt. We'll throw it in our assembler. But we're still short on materials. Alright, now let's go exploring to see if we can find those materials that we need. Alright, well the piston still works despite the fact it's clearly what broke the gravity generator. That's annoying to say the least. Okay, so we have iron here, it looks like. We've got some magnesium. Not what we need. Any nickel? Nickel? Nope, just iron. This is a cool little asteroid, though. It has a nice big tube system going through it. More magnesium. That is magnesium, right? Yep, that's magnesium. Nickel. Well, this is problematic. Don't see any asteroids that have gold glinting in them, so I know we did earlier, but yeah, there it is. So it is next to that asteroid, the one that we were at before. So it's the one that's directly to the right of it, has gold in it. Might not be at the surface, which is why we didn't take a look at it. There's definitely gold in that one. And there's a little bit of uranium there, not that we need it. We got more than enough of that, as we've stated earlier. Yeah, it doesn't look like there's much in here that we need. And this darker colored stuff, I'm pretty sure, is just stone that's shadowed. Yep, it's just stone. There's magnesium underneath it. Don't need that. Okay, well, I guess we're going back at a slower speed so we don't end up having the piston glitch through the wall again. I wonder if we retract the piston, if we fly with it retract, if it won't glitch out like that. I'm guessing it wouldn't glitch out. Well, let's head in that direction then. Also, we'll do one more ship scanning while we're over here. And we're going to see if there's anything in the vicinity. Otherwise, we're going to go find that gold. Oh, that's right. There's no gravity in here. Alright. Gonna fly in here. Let's do the scan one more time. No derelict masses. That's annoying. Could have sworn there was one. Oh well. So it's slightly to the left and probably in front of that asteroid. Alright, well, let's go find it. I'm gonna put that asteroid in our crosshairs and we're gonna go get it. Alright, and we're off. Actually, I think that'll be it for this episode. We've gone on long enough. Next episode, we're going to get ourselves some gold. Hopefully, we'll be able to find a derelict ship. I mean, even with this scan thing, it's pretty hard. Alright, I think that'll be it for this episode. Thank you, folks, for watching, and I will see you guys next time.